morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching WY TV. You're welcome to another edition of News Review on Wisdom Yard Online Television. And you know I will do it on this particular show. This is where we talk about the headlines that made up the newspapers. I will go on a short commercial break, come back and do justice to some of the headlines. My name is Ahmed Abbas Olatunji, and you know I'm the anchor for this show. Although I do have Ambassador Orilu Arotimi with me, but then these days he had some assignment he has to do, so he will be with me on the show very soon. But then today I'll be taking you guys on a long journey. Let's say a long journey because we have a lot of things to talk about on this review today. All right, let me start with Punch newspaper. But before then, let me tell you guys the sponsor for this show is Nokpa Abbas and King Victor Nigeria Enterprises. Nokpa Abbas that produces Nokpa Abba Bitter, Abba Flusher, Abba Tonic, and Abba Powder. And King Victor Nigeria Enterprises sell all kind of foodstuffs, talking about rice, bags of rice, different kind of foodstuffs. You get it from King Victor Nigeria Enterprises. All right, let me start with newspapers. The Punch newspaper today. Collecting pension unlawful, Falana tells Akpabio others. Cooking gas scarcity, hit Lagos, Kano, Katsina, others. Mohbad, Naira Marley, Samlarry gets 20 million naira bail. Appeal court says Kwakwanso upholds that is election. Then on Vanguard newspaper, CBN Governor Cardoso vows to fight inflation. IGP to redeploy Imo CP. Court fines NYSC 5 million naira for tagging Governor Umba certificate fake. Police killed Palestinian after stabbing female Israeli soldier in East Jerusalem. Then on Daily Post newspaper, 20 killed as bandits open fire on Maulud celebrants in Katsina. Politicians approach court for power, not justice, Adebayo, ex-presidential candidate. 44-year-old man cries for help as DNA reveals he's not a biological father of 4 children. Work with Tinubu, God ordained his presidency. Oba of Lagos tells Atiku and Peter Obi. These are the headlines that made up the newspapers of today. Let's go on a short commercial breakdown. When we're back, we talk more on some of the headlines. Stay tuned, don't go nowhere.
Nokpa for management of power.
King Victor Nigeria Enterprises say make I give una this information. Una with the sell foodstuffs, with the sell noodles, with the sell oil. And one the major distributor Honeywell, Golden Penny, King's Oil, Gino, and so on and so forth. And vanilla that she sort of buy. You feel they collect market, they pay for RAM small. Gbogbo àwọn tó ń bá wa dòwò pọ̀ àtàwọn oníbàárà wa náà jẹ́rìí sí wípé King Victor Nigeria Enterprises tested and trusted kò dẹ̀ sẹ́lẹ̀gbẹ́. Oya make una dey come to shop 2 Awolowo Market Shagamu Ogun State. As una dey buy una market, our motto don tanda gidigba to carry una load go una doorstep. And we no dey put extra charges. King Victor Nigeria Enterprises, fast and trusted.
You're welcome back from that short commercial break, and that's our sponsor, Nokpa Abbas and King Victor Nigeria Enterprises. The first headline we're going to be looking at today is Mohbad's case. And Naira Marley Samlarry got 20 million naira bail. Now I want to ask this question. Is this the justice we are talking about in Nigeria? Is this justice or trying to use power, you know, to bring down everything that has come to that surrounded the death of Mohbad? You know, people expecting better justice from the federal government of Nigeria. But this is all we could get because now they've granted Naira Marley and Samlarry bail of 20 million naira. So I feel this is not what the case deserves. But then Nigerians are not saying anything because I get Yes, but when Mohbad, I remembered when Mohbad lost his life back a few months ago, like people started shouting online, justice for Mohbad, this one for Mohbad, and everybody ordered, even not the president now, people ordered Naira Marley and Samlarry's arrest. And when they came to Nigeria, they were being arrested by the Nigerian police force, and being in their custody for so long, now they had to take them to court, and in court they had to grant them bail, 20 million naira. So I feel is that all, like, that's the end of the case, because with what I'm saying, with this evidence, it shows that there is nothing that is going to happen to Naira Marley and Samlarry, because now the evidence that was being brought up from the investigations pertaining to the death of Mohbad shows that Naira Marley and Samlarry is not having hands in the death of this singer. But then still talking about what is going on with Mohbad, the investigation is still going on though. But then they have been, given this bill just to, attaching to the threatening of life they gave to Mohbad, for the video that surrounded on the internet, talking about how they bullied Mohbad before his death. So I feel this is what the magistrate was talking about, and they had some aides with them. It's not only Naira Marley and Samlarry. We have other two guys with them to pay for the bill. But then a magistrate court sitting in Yaba, Lagos State, on Monday, granting singer Asid Fashola, also known as Naira Marley, a Lagos socialite, Balogun Eletu, known as Samlarry, bail in the sum of 20 million naira with 3 responsible duties. Naira Marley, Samlarry, and 2 others were on October 6 arraigned and remanded over their alleged involvement in circumstances surrounding the death of a musician, Ilerioluwa Aloba, popularly known as Mohbad. Now, the magistrate, which is Adiola Olatunbosun, told the defendant to submit their passports and ordered that they are to report weekly or to the State Criminal Investigation Department in Panti. Now, I want to say this. You said Naira Marley and Samlarry, they should report to the State Criminal Investigation Department every week, just to sign that they are still in this country and you collected their international passport. Does that mean they won't travel out of this country at all? Because I want to see, like, they are just doing all these things for us to take off our mind for the whole thing that happened to Mohbad. But this is a question to Nigerians. Is this the justice that will deserve in Nigeria, in this country? Because I feel this is not the right way to bring up, to end this matter of Mohbad. But then, this is a country whereby if you have money or you are an influential person, that the law will not have anything to do with you. But then if you don't have anybody if you don't know anybody from that up, and you don't have money, that means the law will treat you the way it's supposed to be. But as we speak now, Naira Marley and Samlarry have been granted bail, and they were told to drop their international passports and they should resume to the department, the State Criminal Investigation Department in Panti every week, so as to sign every week that they are still in Nigeria, they are not anywhere. But then I'm expecting Naira Marley. Last week we had a news whereby Naira Marley had to sue Nigerian lawyers that, okay, you guys have put our names in the mud, so you need to pay for that. I know that Marley and Samlarry's lawyers are really working hard, because I didn't even see them working because they are connected up there. So I know nothing is going to happen to Naira Marley and Samlarry. Very soon now, Naira Marley will drop a song and feel like Nigerians should apologize for putting his name in the mud. But then this is Nigeria, where you expect the unexpected. I'm not that surprised with this, because I actually knew that this is where this whole case will end up. They would just tell them to pay that's Nigerian police for you. That's how they run things here in Nigeria. Well, as part of the bail conditions, the defendants are to surrender their passport and make weekly appearances at the State Criminal Investigation Department, Olatunbosun ruled. She also warned that no one should contact her directly on the case. Yes, she said she doesn't want to have any call, like maybe a call from President Tinubu, or a call from one governor of Lagos State, or one big personality in Nigeria, that she won't attend to any call. And she said any attempt to contact me directly will be recorded and potentially disclosed in open court proceedings, she added. So I feel the case is still, like, it's not like the case has been you know, this case is still on. They've not end up with that case. But then I feel this is not the best way to treat Naira Marley and Samlarry. But at first, you know, we've been talking about the royalties Mohbad made from his song after his death. Like, even when he was alive, he doesn't make that much royalties than when he was no more. But then what is Naira Marley doing on this? Because I learned that most of the bodies that are supposed to come together to fight for Mohbad on this, they said they don't have anything to do with it because Naira Marley and Mohbad had an agreement and they signed papers, you know, for the signing of him to Malian's record label. So Nigerians have been asking that how will they share these royalties, because the royalties are much now, because people actually streamed Mohbad songs when he was alive. So even aside that, what do you think? Is he a good thing for Naira Marley and Samlarry to just pay the bill that was being granted, like 20 million naira, and that's the end of the case? Is this supposed to be the justice we deserve in Nigeria? You know, even with the fact that the whole world knew about the death of this boy, which is Mohbad, and I feel so sad, you know, getting to know that they were being granted bail, that they should just pay the sum of 20 million, which is just a chicken chain for Naira Marley and Samlarry, you know, and even the money, where are they going to? Is it that they will channel the money to Mohbad's son, or what is it that they are paying for? That's what I don't understand. You know, this is Nigeria, whereby, you know, it is only the poor that will suffer in the hands of the law. But when you have money and you are influential, forget it. You escape any other thing that has to do with law. Well, let's move on to the next one here, leaving the Naira Marley case. Another interesting headline here, because when I saw this, I was like, okay, now I feel Nigeria is a country whereby new day, new movie. That's Nigeria. That's this country to me, because here we say court finds NYSC 5 million naira for tagging Governor Umba's certificate fake. Just imagine an old governor having a fake certificate. But then Umba said it's not his fault. Now Umba is suing NYSC too, you know. I don't know. The case is interwoven, you know. Let's talk about it. Let me read the body of the news so as you understand it. A federal high court in Abuja on Monday awarded 5 million naira in damages against the National Youth Service called NYSC for alleging that the call discharge certificate held by Governor Peter Umba of Enugu State was fake. You know, when he wanted to, be during the election, you know, the document is submitted, you know, it was fake. That was what the federal government said, the federal high court said. But then Justice Inyang Ekwo, in a judgment, held that the Director General of the NYSC and the corps, who were defendants in the suit, were guilty of misrepresentation of material facts. So what are you there for? I don't understand. Why will you say this is a misrepresentation of material facts? That's a lie to me, a big lie, because, you know, in Nigeria, when you see that this thing is now falling on your head, that's when you will now see them trying to escape it, trying to escape it through, you know. And then this is where we are talking about, when we are talking about being a good patriotic of this country, you know, being a good citizen, you have to be truthful. Even when the leaders are trying to, you know, trying to do things as if they don't care, as if they can just do anything, submit any document, just so as for them to just reach their peak. And what are they trying to tell their followers? What are they trying to tell the citizens? Getting to know that a old governor of a state is, you know, submitting a fake certificate to the federal government. But then, a federal high court in Abuja on Monday has awarded 5 million naira in damages against the National Youth Service Corps for alleging the corps discharge certificate held by Governor Peter Umba of Enugu State. Well, the judge held that the certificate presented to Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, by Umba was authentic and validly issued by the NYSC. Now, this is where the whole case starts from. You know, Umba collected certificate from NYSC. So Umba was saying he was not the one that submitted fake certificate. It was the NYSC that misinterpreted that there was a misrepresentation of material in that certificate. Well, so I say, like me, I'm not believing Umba though, to be sincere, because I feel it will be something between the two parties. He knew that the certificate, at least before he had the inspiration of you know, aspiring for the post of the governor, he would have, you know, known things about his certificate. So I feel he knows. He just wants to play games there. But then Justice Ekwo further held that evidence before the court showed that the governor though mobilized for service in 2001, completed his service in 2003. So how many years are you using for service? That's the question. If you go for service before being mobilized 2000, at least 2002, you're supposed to have been done with it, because NYSC is 1 year program. But then completed his service in 2003, according to the court. Umba, midway into his service, sought, and after receiving permission from the NYSC to attend the Nigerian Law School. So during your service, you have the you ask for permission to attend the Nigerian Law School. Was reinstated into the NYSC in 2003. Besides, the judge said that while the NYSC did not challenge the evidence that Umba served in the law firm for 1 whole day, it criticized the court for not charging the governor for forgery if they believe that they didn't issue the said NYSC certificate to him. Now, the problem now is Umba is accusing NYSC, and NYSC is claiming that Umba forged the certificate. So who is to believe here? So I feel now Umba is, suing NYSC, and the Federal High Court is suing NYSC. So NYSC is in the middle of Umba and the Federal High Court now. But then INEC are to be blamed. So before INEC are not even they are not even in the how will I put it? They don't check certificates very well. That was what happened during the time whereby we get to know that President Bola Tinubu certificate was a forgery certificate. From CSU it was being confirmed. But then INEC are supposed to be in the midst of this, because if they have done their assignment on every certificate that was being submitted very well, all these things would not have happened. So he concluded that the NYSC was mischievous and acted in bad faith by denying Umba's NYSC certificate. The new agency of Nigeria, NAN, reports that Umba had sued the NYSC and its director, Corp Certification, Mr. Ibrahim Mohammed, for publishing a disclaimer denying the issuance of a discharge certificate issued to him on January 6, 2003. Can you see now that the whole thing has been jeopardized and we don't even know who to believe here now? Justice Ekwo on May 15 restrained the NYSC Mohammed and any of their agents from henceforth engaging in such publication pending the hearing and determination of substantive matter. The order followed an ex parte motion moved by Umba's counsel, Mr. Emeka Ozuane-San. No matter what the case may be, I feel Umba should be accused. Umba said they accused him wrongly because the fault doesn't come from him, because that was the certificate that was being issued to him by NYSC. And NYSC here claiming that they issued him the real certificate, but he forged the certificate. Well, okay, it is well known that he served normally. But then, why is it that all these are leaders, they are not being truthful, they are not being trustworthy? So what are you telling the next generation? What are you telling the masses? What are you telling the citizens? So I'm not even being amazed, our president, his certificate from CSU University is a forgery certificate, according to when Atiku was dragging him up and down. But then Umba is still in the case with NYSC as we speak, and the proceeding is still on, and they told the NYSC to make sure they provide the real certificate as soon as possible. And I know Umba is not just a small governor, he is a smart politician as far as I'm concerned, and he knows his way out of this. Well, that's why I move on to the next headline, talking about the scarcity of gas currently in the country. Now, I asked one of my neighbors, when was the last time you cooked beans? And he said, how will I even cook beans? When gas, the amount of filling gas is now, rising, and you expect me to cook beans. So people now intend to buy beans from a seller than to cook it in their house. Why? Because the price of gas is now, rising and rising and rising. Well, cooking gas scarcity, it's Lagos, Kano, Katsina, and others. Scarcity of liquefied petroleum gas, also known as cooking gas, has hit Lagos and some other states in the country. The other affected states, according to findings by correspondents, are Katsina, Sokoto, Delta, Kaduna, and Kano. I want to ask, how much are you filling gas in your area? Because as at now, retailers are now saying, okay, if they want to fill gas, 1 kg of gas is now 1,002, in the range of 1,002 and 1,100 naira. I feel President Bola Tinubu said they are going to be, sending money to every what's it called, federal workers, I don't know. So what happens to people that doesn't have job in Nigeria? If you're working with the state government or the federal government, fine. It has been said as from January, the small amounts will be sent to your account. What of people that are not working with the government? Are they not citizens of Nigeria? So I feel President Bola Tinubu is doing this just to favor only workers, because now look at the price of gas. People will surely cook, they will surely use gas, in one way or the other. Even there are some people that use gas as a means of, putting their generator, they've converted their petrol tank to gas, and it affects everybody, not just government workers. So I feel President Bola Tinubu should try and do something about this, because it's getting too much. The rise in price of commodity has been noticed since last month, causing a continuous rise in prices. The Punch had earlier reported how gas terminal owners increased price by 66% in October alone. Price of 20 metric tons of cooking gas rose from 10 million naira at the beginning of last month to 16 million naira as of late last month, despite NLNG currently supplying 20 MT of cooking gas to them at 9 million naira. What is going on? That it has been predicted, let's say by July, it has been predicted that when it's November, December, the price of gas will rise to the extent that Nigerians will be complaining. And now we are complaining. We are still in November, looking at December, and the price of gas is just too much. Well, a market survey carried out by News over the weekend revealed that 12.5 kg of cooking gas now sells for between 13,500 naira and 14,000 naira at the black market. But wait, I want to ask this: all these are government officials, are they really, knowing that people are really suffering, like the masses are really suffering? Are they cooking at all, or did they even buy all these foodstuffs like rice? I went to the market last week and I got to know that even a bag of rice is now 47,000 something, and it's not anything that goes up in Nigeria will never come down. They will even be praying that it should not come down. I don't know. Our governments, I don't know the way they think, I don't know the way they feel, I don't know how they see the masses. Maybe they are seeing us as if, the president was making a speech in a statement on the national TV, and he said being poor is not a disease, that it's just a process. But then if it is too much, we cannot just survive these days, because it's getting too much. Well, some of the traders informed the News that gas plant owners now sell to them between 1,100 naira and 1,200 naira per 1 kg, as they could not access enough quantity. As of June, the prices of 12.5 kg was around 8,700 naira. But in September, price rose to 10,200 naira. And as of Saturday, this weekend, price are again rising to between 13,500 naira to 14,000. I don't know, where are we going to in this country? We are just, people cannot talk because they are scared. Maybe they are scared. But now, I feel people are now talking, because if you get to see if you check online, see the way people are lamenting, the way people are shouting that this is just too much. The hardship is getting too much. Well, in a chat with President, the Nigerian Association of Liquefied Petroleum Gas Marketers, Oladapo Olatubosu, on Sunday, the Punch learned that there is currently not enough cooking gas in Lagos State. Well, in my own gas plant, I sell at 950 naira per kg. So, by all means, the masses should try not to patronize those that don't have gas plant, because they will also add their profits. Those people are also part of the problem we are facing in the country. Yes, I feel even if they buy this this gas, since if they have bought their own since let's say August, and they still have it selling, they won't mind to add more to the profit. So I don't know the reason why we treat ourselves like this. I have traders that sells rice and other food stuff that if they buy it in the rate of let's say 15,000 naira. Immediately they got to know that the price of things is going high, they'll add more money. They won't even care that they bought it so amount. They will sell it exactly the rate of what they are selling it directly from the manufacturer, as at that time, which is not supposed to be like that. Those are the things we are supposed to checkmate and look into it very well. But our government is not doing anything about it. So everybody can just bring up any price idea, just put it on their market and they sell it. So the correspondent of our correspondent in Katsina also reported scarcity of cooking gas in the state. According to findings, the scarcity was first observed about 2 weeks ago as several small retailers complained of non-availability. Then investigations has also shown that a kilogram of cooking gas goes for nothing less than 1,400 naira. That's in Katsina. Wow. 1,400 naira in the state. No official reason has been given for the scarcity. Now, this is what I'm talking about. In Lagos, it is 1,001, 1,002. But in Katsina, it's now 1,400 naira. Approximately before next tomorrow, or let's say tomorrow, it will get to like 1,500 naira per kg. Now, gas is now even more expensive than diesel in Katsina. Because as we speak, diesel is now 1,300 naira. And if you check petrol is in the range of 700, 650, 620. That's how they sell it, depending on your location. Where are we going to in Nigeria? The president, please do something fast about this because it's getting out of hand. Well, scarcity of cooking gas has also been noticed in Sokoto State metropolis in the last few days, leading to prices being increased indiscriminately. Our correspondent in Kaduna reported that residents were spotted carrying their cylinders in search of commodity as of Sunday. Findings have showed that a retail price of 5 kilograms went for 5,000 naira. Wow. God of mercy. Well, that is to say, it is in Kaduna State. It is now 1,000 naira per kg in Kaduna. I feel that's still better to Lagos, because Lagos is now 1,001 and 1,200. But in Katsina, it's 1,400 naira per kg. This is just too much. Well, this is where we are going to be ending it on the show today. Don't forget that our sponsor for this show is Nokpa About and King Victor Nigeria Enterprises. My name is Ahmed Abbas Olatunji, but you can call me Sidonji. I'll see you again tomorrow on another edition of News Review. Be good and be hardworking. Bye.